Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Mr. Vott's Flipped Classroom. Today, we're talking about maps. Now, some of this might be a review for most of you from 6th grade, but there are several of you that have moved in this semester, and we're going to review, basically. So, that is what we're going to take care of today. We're looking at maps, all kinds of maps. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is map parts. What are the basic map parts? Well, first of all, if you take a look at the map behind me, the first thing that you need to know about a map is what is the point of this map? What is this map called? What is the title? What is the title of this map? Well, if you take a look right here, this is the title of the map. Okay? The title of the map lets you ultimately know what the map is about. This one, for example, says United States. The next thing that you need to know about the map is where's the compass rose? Which direction is north? Which direction is east, west, or south? Now, this one might be a little hidden. Take a minute to see if you can find it. Did you find it yet? Hopefully you're pointing into this general area up here. Yes, that is the compass rose with the N inside of it. That is pointing which direction is north. If you notice, at the top of this up here is the largest part of the arrow, and that is pointing the direction N is. And if you know what N stands for, which is north, you'll be able to understand and find the rest of the directions. You can use all sorts of terms such as never eat soggy waffles or never eat sour wheat. There's all sorts of acronyms that you can use to help remember which directions, what the directions are. The other thing that you need to know about maps is the scale bar. The scale bar is going to be located right about here. In this representation, the scale bar represents 0 to 500 miles. It's 0 to 500 miles. So that distance, if you were to take that and line that up, you'd be able to figure out distances in equivalent to 500 miles. There are some other things about this map that you might need to know. Right about here and over here up a little bit are what we call map inserts. These map inserts, that is not actually where Alaska is located. I mean, yes, Alaska is in the northern parts of the United States, but that is not where it is located. It's not smack dab in the middle of Canada. And same thing for Hawaii over here. Hawaii is not out in the middle of California and just off the coast of the ocean. These are actually several hundreds, if not thousands, miles away. So keep that in mind. The map inserts take pieces that you can't see on a smaller map and brings them into the smaller map. So you can see the entire section of the map all on one page. Otherwise, we'd have to have 2 or 3 pages to see where Hawaii and Alaska are. So it makes it much more manageable. Next, I want to talk to you about the actual different types of maps. We ultimately have 3 major types of maps. We have political maps, physical maps, and thematic maps. Now, thematic maps are sometimes called special purpose maps, but for our class, we will mostly call them thematic maps. So we do have those 3 types. It's political, physical, and thematic, sometimes called special purpose. The first one we're going to look at is political maps. On our political maps, there's several things that they're focusing on. Mostly, they're focusing on humans, the human side of things. So they're going to focus on cities. If you take a look at this map, all of the major cities or capitals are highlighted or starred in this case. Also notice down here in the bottom we do have Alaska and Hawaii at the bottom of the map. Also inserts, remember that word, inserts. And ultimately the political map, if you take a look, it does not show any rivers. It doesn't show any mountains. It ultimately shows the human conditions, the things that the humans control, such as borders and major cities, the states, those kinds of things. And that's a political map. The next type of map is a physical map. Now this is a little different. Actually, it's considerably different than a political map. It doesn't focus so much on the human side of the map. It focuses on the physical side, which is why it's called a physical map. It focuses on things like mountains and rivers. So if we take a look at this map, on this side we can see the Rocky Mountains very clearly. the Rocky Mountains. But then if we look at the political map, no Rocky Mountains. So that's the major difference between physical and political maps. Physical maps show the physical features of the map, such as mountains and rivers and major oceans and lakes. They might sometimes show borders and maybe a few cities, but the primary focus is, in fact, on the physical features of the map that you're looking at. So, once again, this is a political map. This is a physical map. Now, let's talk about your special purpose maps. Special purpose maps can cover all kinds of things, hundreds of different topics. Your thematic maps or special purpose maps can cover pretty much any topic you want. For example, here are a few maps. We have the average rainfall, population map, a climate map, a Columbian exchange map, and finally, a Punic War map. We'll talk about the Punic Wars later. So now, hopefully you know a little more about maps than what you did earlier. This may have been just a review, but either way, you're getting something out of it. Now, don't forget to go to Mr. Vought's classroom website, mrvaught.weebly.com, click on the flipped link, and do the flipped lesson, as in answer the questions. You guys know which one to click on. The one you're clicking on is latitude and longitude number 2. Make sure you click on the link and answer the questions. Here are your questions. Which of the following is pointing to an insert? What are the differences between a physical and a political map? Once again, what are the differences between a physical and political map?